here from Drake Wayne Gaming. Just setting you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Beyond the Harbor. So y'all, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. My eyes go wide, my mouth hangs open as it dawns on me, though. My brain scrambles to find the words, but it's not fast enough. He steps towards me a bit, but I ward him off with a wave of my hands. Sam, it's good to see you, but this might not be the weekend to visit. He raises a brow inquisitively and folds his arms. The fuck is keeping you busy? I close my eyes and feel my life drain out of my open mouth as I sigh. Well, V and Dawn are coming to town. And, Oh, I get it. Having a reunion without your good friend Sam, huh? He shuts his eyes and laughs heartily, and I cringe inwards. No, Sam. The sneaky cat wraps an arm around my shoulders and gently rubs my back, letting out another much softer chuckle. Well, any reason you don't want me around this weekend? After I decided to surprise you, turns out you had a surprise for me. I try to pull him off, but he holds firm. I steady my breath and turn to him, looking my friend dead in the eyes. Sam, Mr. Henderson is dead. The cat raises his brow again. For real? I give him a slow nod and a bit of color drains from his face as he blinks slowly. Oh. You're here for, I nod. Oh, the funeral's on Saturday. Sam pulls off of me and slumps down a bit before shrugging and perking himself back up. That's, unfortunate. But V wouldn't mind if I tagged along, would she? Hey, don't look at me like that. I'm not dumb. I had my suspicions something was up. Didn't see her on campus at all this week. Big red flag. So, why then? Why do you want to come? Did you even know the old man? He shakes his head. No, of course not. I came to this town way too late to catch that train. I've heard all the stories, of course. Don brought up that shit all the time. It's not important, though. I don't want to go to his funeral or whatever. The cogs in his head turn for a second. He continues. I'd just like to tag along for a bit tomorrow. I'll say hi to the gang and take off if I'm not wanted, okay? I jam my hands back into my hoodie pocket. I'm not sure what to make of all this. I'd rather not drive all the way back home to Petersburg tonight. He rolls his head on his shoulders until his neck cranes while stretching his arms out behind him. I'd probably fall asleep at the wheel. So I'll ask again. Can I stay with you tonight? I'll deal with everything. Can convince V myself so you don't have to worry about losing a few teeth. I sigh, shrugging my shoulders. You're not going to get me killed. You're not going to get me killed then. I look like the kind of guy. Come on, I know how to handle this shit. I nod hesitantly, lifting my posture a bit. I guess. Awesome. I totally owe you one, dude. Like I said, I'll totally take the heat if she gets all pissy. I shake my head, as all my breath escapes me as a long sigh. You better, dude. This feels like a bad idea. He struts ahead of me and pulls open the passenger door of his car. Come on, you'll be fine. Now. Grinning eagerly, he beckons me with a wave of his hand and a flick of his tail. After you? No, I wasn't interested in going. I guess it sort of worked out for me, though. They're staying with my sister. I think they were going on a cruise or something. But, who the hell invites her parents on her honeymoon? I bet her boyfriend was pissed. Sam tilts his head a bit as he pulls the car into park. I'll bet they didn't actually go with her. That was probably their excuse to stay on vacation for another week. My eyes widen. Thought hadn't occurred to me before, but it seems exactly like something they do. You think? He nods as he undoes his seatbelt. Probably. Ugh, those fucking assholes! He shrugs before opening his door and stepping back out into the night. I mean, do you really care? You got an extra week with the house to yourself. I guess. I hook my seatbelt. By the time I'm opening my door, however, Sam's already on my side of the car. Maybe you should let me be a gentleman and get that one for you, friendo. The cat flashes me a goofy grin and winks, obviously. It's just fucking around, of course, but it's fun to play into it sometimes. Oh my, thank you, my good sir. I say, to see a gentleman such as thee in this day and age? I delicately place my hand on my chest for dramatic effect, and Sam bows his head deeply. If I may. Sam presents a hand to me, and I take it daintily. As soon as I do, however, he squeezes tightly and yanks me out of the car. I manage to land on my feet, but not before Sam takes my other hand in his. He pulls me close enough to feel his heartbeat vibrating in tune with mine. Heh, gentleman, my ass. I'm about as far from that as you can get, pal. He whispers, sending my spine into a fit of rattling, bone scraping against bone. Gah! I attempt to yank my hand away, but he has a firm grip on me, and I end up pulling even closer to him instead. Our chests bump together again, but Sam stays rooted to the ground. At this point, my only hope to avoid falling on my ass is to rely on his support. While I was focused on keeping my balance, however, I didn't notice the clever cat bringing his face close to mine. This is for earlier. He whispers softly in my ear, echoing deep into my head. I tense my face up and prepare for the worst. He's probably going to bite my ear. It was short, quick. I might not have even noticed it if I didn't hear the subtle smack of his lips. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, let's jump right back into it. I groan aloud. Yeah, he got me. Alright, you win. He grins, squeezing me close to him one last time before releasing his grip. Or even now. He puts his hands on his hips and laughs gleefully. I just fold my arms and roll my eyes. His laughter slows down shortly after. What, you're not gonna get me back? I shrug my shoulders. Maybe later. I don't mind admitting defeat for the time being. He scratches his head and lets out a quiet sigh. Well, alright. Not the response I expected. The cat fishes his keys out of his pocket and points them at his car, eliciting a few beeps from it. Just don't forget, I'm watching you. In probably the most over-the-top fashion he can, Sam points to his eyes and then to mine. I just shrug and tilt my head to the side, forcing a half-smile. I'm not planning anything. Rub my chin deviously. Or am I? He chuckles a little and shrugs. Sure, I believe that. You want to head in, then? I could really use a shower. I spent like 6 hours driving today, and I think I've still got cum in my fur from this afternoon. You what? God. Sam. You filthy bastard. So what then? Where are you meeting up with them? He shouts from the other room, probably dripping all over the place. Tomorrow morning I'm meeting up with V at the cafe. Which one? Sirens? I nod and lift my hoodie over my head. My shirt follows, and as soon as my chest is bare, I put the sweatshirt back on. What a nice kitchen. Where else did we ever meet? He goes quiet for a second. I only hung out with you guys occasionally when Don was still around, and it was never at the cafe. Oh, Don won't be there. We're picking him up at the bus station a bit later in the day. It was actually V's idea to meet up at the cafe, and she's arriving pretty early tomorrow. We're going to talk to her grandmother and then meet up with me around noon. I unbutton my shorts and they hit the ground. I'd usually take off my underwear whenever I was getting ready for bed, but don't tonight for obvious reasons. Sam pokes his head out of the bathroom door. His hair is a mess, and he's likely only toweled off since I haven't heard the dryer yet. I'm hoping she's not in an awful mood then. Oh, and I used your mom's shampoo. She wouldn't notice any missing, would she? I mean, I'd use yours, but that cheap shit dries out my skin. Speaking of dry, I roll my eyes and get back to depositing dishes in the sink. I'd have probably picked up around here beforehand if I'd known someone would be over. May or may not have left the place a mess over the week. Couldn't be bothered to clean up after myself, not without Mom here to breathe down my neck about it. Or just going behind me doing it herself. Probably wouldn't leave messes so often if I actually cared, I guess. Grand Duke Oliver of the House Procrastination. That's what my sister'd always call me. Then a few years later, my nickname became Homo Boy Facklord. Over the running water, I can hear the bathroom door open and the loud exhaust of the hairdryer running within. Do the issues? What? Dishes! Yeah, I'm sure you can see how bad I left it. Wait, Finish drying yourself. I'm not shouting at you over the hairdryer all goddamn night. What? Finish up in there! That's enough to make him retreat back into the bathroom. I hear some kind of muffled response and he closes the door. Attempting to return the dishes to the dishes at this point is difficult, but I persevere. Don's been wrong about a lot in the past, but I'm pretty sure he was wrong. Pretty sure he was right when he told me I had ADHD, or some kind of attention problem. I had a hard time staying on topic when I was in school, and homework can burn in a fucking fire. If what I've heard from V about homework in college is true, I'm glad I didn't go. I mean, me? In a college classroom? Fuck that. I don't really want to get I don't really want to get a job either, though. Like, what options do I have anyways? Fast food? I saw what happened to Beth after the grease incident. Ugh. I lift my hands out of the water and stare at them for a bit. The suds fizz and pop in between my fingers. It's sort of fun to watch them. I insert my hands back into the sudsy water and pull them back out again. Water drips down at a steady pace, and the bubbles follow in a disorderly fashion. Procrastinating? Jesus, fuck! Sam's voice on my ear nearly forces the hair on the back of my neck to evacuate, and the accompanying chills rattle me to my core. Hey, careful where you're flinging that. I literally just finished drying. I want to shout at the cat, but that won't solve anything. I attempt to compose myself before I open my mouth. Sam, can you, stop doing that? I dry my hands with a nearby rag and turn to face the mischievous motherfucker. He's draped a towel around his waist, and his fur is slightly puffed up from the hairdryer, no doubt. What? I see you spaced out like that all the time. Gotta bring you back down, yeah? You don't? I do, though. I frown, but he's pretty entertained. There's that little twinkle in his eyes again. Aren't you enjoying the view, at least? Of course I've noticed. He may as well be fucking naked. Hard to do that. He cocks an eyebrow at my retort and folds his arms defiantly. And why would that be? I goad him on a bit with a slight chuckle. He takes the bait, of course, and takes a step closer to me. Oh, I'm waiting. He reaches a hand towards his groin and takes a handful of it through the towel. Are you distracted by this? I'll bet you are. He moves his hand, leaving the well-defined impression of his dick for the world to see. His smile is poisonous now, and it doesn't take long to see where this is going. Nope, why would I be interested in that? Rude. He feigns offense in an overdramatic fashion, taking no step towards me. You aren't doing anything else right now, come on. What are you talking about? I was literally in the middle of doing the dishes when you started messing with me. I gestured towards the sink, full of water that's been still for too long already. So instead of being annoying with your dick, why don't you help me finish those? You know, do something productive for once in your life. I was feeling pretty confident about that one, but he just frowns and folds his arms. So, you know. Rich coming from you. What have you accomplished lately, huh? There's that toxic smile again. He knows exactly where this little game is heading, and he's not giving up. I mean, at least I'm going to school. I mean, you fuck around while your mom pays for everything. Yeah, real productive. I shrug him off completely and turn to walk into the living room. And? Your point is? He makes his way past me, nearly running. Hey, I'm not done with you. He stops in front of me, leaning in the doorway of the living room. You know I don't care about any of that shit anyways. That's not what I came out here for anyways. If that's what I wanted, I would have just flown back to Cali and stayed with Ma for a bit. So, well, he wiggles his hips a bit, and I see the outline of his dick underneath the towel shake along with him. You see where your eyes are. You don't want to argue with me right now. How about I put on a little show for you, huh? The throbbing in my head gets more intense as I recognize his tone. I groan and rub at my temples with my fingers. No, that would make me feel better. He cackles and claps me on the shoulder. I'm feeling cornered by the cat, and it's starting to genuinely uncomfortable. You know it would. Whatever my boyfriend is feeling down, I like to do a bit of wiggling, and... Excuse me. Sam! I cut him off, and he goes rigid mid-sentence. Clearly didn't expect me to object. I know exactly what you're doing. I'm not in the mood tonight. And you're starting to give me a headache on top of that. I pushed my way past him and stepped into the living room. I don't want to play this game right now, okay? He folds his arms and squints his eyes at me. What's up with you, huh? You've been acting like this since we went inside. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!